Hello, everyone. Welcome to a beautiful new episode in the LAULIMA studio. We're going to talk again today with one of our amazing speakers for the Global Online Summit Heal and Evolve happening September 22, 22nd. If you have not signed up, don't miss to sign up for free and join us. We really all hold the intention to come together for global healing and rising consciousness. And not only are you then having free access to the speaker slots, but also to the free gifts everyone is bringing. So I can't wait to receive them myself. And I feel there will be so many gems, practices and tools and guidance and inspiration and meditation to really help you walk through these transitioning times. So sometimes, although we all see how beautiful the new world is unfolding already in front of our eyes, there's so many things we need to let go, and it's sometimes difficult and we struggle. And we always say we have to go through the breakthrough to come, or we have to have a breakdown to come to the breakthrough. And it's, sometimes dark and painful and all of this. But before we get into that too much, I want to welcome Annie. Hi, Annie. It's so nice that you can be with me here today, and that you also join our online summit. And I'm really, really grateful that you also bring your wisdom and your experience and your gifts and magic. Before we start to talk.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, sure.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So before we speak about what you're bringing to the summit and also the offering that you're having in general and where people can find you and work with you, I would love to tune in with you as well. I did that with all the other speakers into the question, this time we all speak about how special these times are. And yes, as I said already in the introduction, it's also super struggling sometimes. We all, I feel, go through some transition in some way ourselves. And we also see how necessary it is, like shedding the skin and moving forwards and letting go of the old because the new is awaiting. But I would love for you to share, what is your perception? Like, what is for you feeling alive in this time? Like, how do you interpret, or how do you see these times, and what do you feel is important for us to look at it?
So this is an incredible time that we're in. And I mean, as I speak to you, I can actually feel the palpability of what we're talking about, and that it's not just a conceptual that we're talking about. We're actually talking about something that is really happening, and we can experience it by people that are going through personal changes. Almost everyone you speak to is going through a personal change, and either they're having their multidimensional gifts come online, or they're having to make a real change in their career. And there are so many things that are happening, and these things are actually quite frightening in some ways when you have to go through it personally to make a real change, especially in your career and your life path. You've been walking a path that has been quite certain in many ways, and now all of a sudden things are seeming a little bit uncertain. But I do feel that it's a path of ascension, that we are rising to higher frequencies, that we are all perceiving higher frequencies and experiencing higher frequencies for ourselves. And people talking about this planetary shift, where where the planet is literally going to split and become two sort of places, or two planets. And I don't really see it like that. It's more about a frequency shift. And some people who maybe don't perceive the frequency changes maybe stay on the 3D realm and operate on the 3D realm, and that's also fine. And then there are others of us that will experience the frequency shifts, the 5D reality that's actually not coming, already here. And so I'm very excited, and because I think that we were born for this. I certainly have been born for this time. And, I love things like technology. I mean, I don't really understand technology. I don't make technology, but I love to use it. And I love, to talk about the technology. For example, the thing that I do most in my life is, my niche area that I work with people is through fasting. And I always refer to fasting as a technology because it's a type of technology. It's a method of bringing people from one way of being to another. So these technologies help us to, if we didn't have the technology, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Exactly.
We're living in different cities so the technology is really helping this movement. It's helping us to move forward. And I think it's very exciting.
Beautiful. Thank you for bringing this in. Yeah, I observe how beautiful it is. I'm not native English speaking,
Yes.
but I observe in all the different communities that I'm lucky to dip in, that the more we speak about technology in terms of AI or, this beautiful studio online that we can speak to with each other and record this video, and then so many people can see it on the social media. So everything is so much about technology, but then also now using the terminology of technology more for what you were just bringing up, modalities or things that are helping us to transition or to ascend. And even speaking about our heart as a technology, so understanding that also our body is a kind of a technology and that we are also, when it comes down to what this really is, it's just form and movement. It's like we're not even a form, we're just particles that are very densely held together. So it's beautiful to see how the awareness, the language, the way of thinking about how this is all connected, how we are all held together in unity, in the conscious field, in the collective field, but then also individual. So I love that you bring in these, these words and these observations, how to frame these times. And yeah, you mentioned it already. Your technology is fasting, and also I know that you are, tuning into the field and tuning into energies in a different way. It's not just the fasting that you're bringing.
Yes.
And I would love to also hear from you what you're bringing to the online summit so people can dive in there already. You're going to speak at that day about purification and resetting your purpose. And I can assume that in your beautiful offerings and the retreats and other formats you have, this is actually one of the core topics, probably why people also come, right?
Yes, absolutely. And I love your program. I love that we're beginning with purification, because actually that is what my whole life has been about purification. And when I started fasting myself, when I was about 21, now that's 31 years ago, when I started fasting, it was as a means of to bring health to my body. And at that time, I was doing water fasting, and water fasting was very unheard of. Certainly in South Africa, where I live, in Johannesburg, where I live, when I started water fasting, people would look at me as if I was completely insane. I wore water fast for 7 days, and people they were disturbed. And of course, the technology that I've been working with all these years, we've moved on. Water fasting, I do still think that it's a supreme way of fasting, but we also have made it more accessible by introducing juicing, which the juicing allows us to still give the digestive system a rest and receive nutrients and still have the same effect of bringing that clarity into our body. I've actually had several people come to the retreats that, while we're going through the process, have changed their jobs, have resigned from their jobs because they realize that they are not fulfilling their own life purpose. And this technology of purification, this technology that we're using, this fasting, is a wonderful way to bring that mental clarity into your day-to-day experience. And when you have that mental clarity, then it's so easy to align with what it is that you really want to do in your life. And when you know that what you really want to do in your life, you can take small steps, one step at a time, towards that thing that you really want to do. I mean, it does take a lot of courage for people to step into their purpose. With the purification, it really helps to remove the clutter.
Yeah.
Because life is full. Life is busy. We have a lot of things going on. And, my life is busy. And even though I feel very blessed, I have cultivated a life that allows me a lot more free time than many people. And I live in a very beautiful place. We have a lot of nature where I am. And so even though those things are in place for me and are actually essential for my life, I still feel that life is very fast and moving very quickly. And the fasting is a beautiful tool for me because it allows me to sit with myself. It allows me to sit with myself. It allows me to remember myself and what it is that is important to me. And, a lot of discomfort can come up when you're busy purifying, because all the toxins are coming out, all the sort of clutter is coming out of the mind, and the toxins are coming out of the body, and it can feel quite uncomfortable. But what I've learned is that when we sit with this discomfort, when we really allow the discomfort to be there, something magical actually happens, and we begin to really allow ourselves to feel peace. So there's an inner space that comes when we allow ourselves to just be in the discomfort, not pushing it away, not trying to reach for something, just sitting empty and quiet and still. And so much then can come flooding in that's coming from the true nature, or that's coming from the field around us. You know, I asked you earlier about my thoughts on this time that we're living in. Do you feel like when we can bring ourselves into presence, the present moment, this is really a very powerful place to be. This is where all the juice of life is. When we can allow ourselves to be in the present moment, then all the things that we need to know are actually in the morphogenetic field around us, and we can actually perceive what's going on in the field. So we don't need all this knowledge. We don't need it. We have AI for knowledge. If we want to go and get some knowledge, we can go to our AI, our AI assistant, whichever one we're using, and we can get the knowledge quickly, immediately, what we need. But our brains were not designed to hold so much knowledge. We are actually designed to be present, and in the present moment, perceive what is in the field around us. And that's also what's changing now. That is what we're all tuning into. We're beginning to tune into. This present moment is so juicy. There is so much goodness in this present moment. I wish we could tell people, stop worrying about the future, stop imagining it being in the past.
Yeah.
You know, even 10 minutes ago, it doesn't exist anymore. This moment here is the moment that exists. And this is where the peace, the joy, the love, and all these things that we are moving towards exist.
Beautiful. So beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel you're touching on something really crucial, you know, in the beginning, even when you said the way you're working with people is helping them to declutter their mind and their systems and come to stillness and come to that opportunity to stay present in the here and now, because you allow yourself, you give yourself the space, which we usually do not give ourselves, right? And with the help of fasting, we become a bit more, I would say, attentive or focused on what's actually going on. And my perception of it is even a step further, is like, or before, is the soul is calling you to, you know, change something in your life. The soul is calling you to find space to become still or to declutter, you know, and our physical and our mental and our emotional system or bodies are very often, filled with stuff that's not really serving us anymore. And fasting becomes such a beautiful symbolistic tool for allowing ourselves to shed all of that from us, so that the core, the diamond, the jewel that's within us, you know, that soul purpose, that our true essence actually is, can come out. And I feel this is really something that so many people are now becoming aware of more, you know, that as long as they're not in alignment with their true essence and what they're here for, they will always seek and rush and pace and look on the outside. So that's what I feel, that probably what you're also very aware of is that people are seeking for something when they come. And then they say, oh, I just want to do fasting or whatever to become more present. But then they're changing their lives, you know, whoops, they're changing their jobs.
Absolutely. That is exactly, you said something that is extremely key, and it is actually the calling of the soul. And over the years that I've been running these detox retreats, and my team and I, we have actually learned that it is not us that is really bringing the participants at all. It is life that's bringing the participants. You know, essentially, if you could think of a metaphor, our job is not to teach, because we are not teachers. I'm not going to claim that I'm a teacher. But what we're doing is we are saying to our participants that the river of life is really the teacher. And so what we're doing is we're bringing the participants to the river of life, and we're allowing the river to teach them while we sit with them. And then when they receive the teaching, the actual life experience, the experience of what they're going through, then we are available to answer their questions because we've been walking the path. So when you've been walking the path, you know what the experience is and you can share it with others.
Yeah.
And so we look at it like that. And it's a beautiful thing to actually do.
So
We love to see how participants make such transformation in their life.
yeah. Yeah. Lovely. And we kind of already dive into the beautiful offerings that you have and your retreats and everything. But what we also want to highlight, and that's what you're bringing as a free gift, and I'm super excited to try it myself, is a 3-day process, right? With fasting, detox, juicing. And so I would love from you also to hear, basically to encourage the people to come to the river, that sometimes also a day or 3 days can already be a start. You don't have to book that retreat. Maybe you don't have the opportunity
Yes.
because you have kids at home or, other lives, but you can already start slow and have your own experience. So maybe you want to share a little bit about what you're bringing there.
Yes, so the free gift that I'm offering is a 3-day gentle fast with recipes for juices, and you can do this in a very gentle way. You can do it at home. So there's it's going to be very easy for you to do if this is what you want to try. And for those people that haven't tried fasting before, promise you, out of 10 years worth of running retreats, nobody died from not eating. We're not really. Just remember, we're not removing. It's not deprivation. What it is purification.
Yeah, beautiful.
And so that's basically the offering that we're sharing with the audience.
Yeah, nice. I feel it's a very generous offer and also a beautiful first step, like what I said before, for people to get a feeling and then you can see whether you want to dive in more. It's maybe a bit different than, you usually say, if you feel you do not have time to meditate half an hour a day, then you should meditate an hour a day. So in this case, I would say, overcome your fears or overcome your obstacles and see how you can, with a 3-day detox juice fasting, how you can already find that love for fasting and seeing how it really helps you declutter and helps you to become more focused. And as you said, mentally more clear and more aligned with what you actually really want in life, and how you then, when you declutter, how you then can take action towards what you actually really want. I think that's kind of, you're preparing the people to get into action for their own sake of their own life that they want to create for themselves. And that's really beautiful.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's really key. If you're wanting to make a change and you're wanting to step into your future, it actually really is important to start with purification and to remove everything that is not essential, because food actually isn't essential just for a short space of time. Nutrients can be essential, but what is really essential is that you can have the space that is essential so that you can then step into the present moment. It's a beautiful practice.
Yeah, really nice. And then maybe you want to also just speak to the offering you bring after people have seen you on the Global Online Summit. We also will have an offer for one of the next retreats for people to join. What is coming up next after?
Yes, we do.
Can speak about October, November, probably.
Yes. We have 2 beautiful retreats coming up in October and then in November. October is the 12th to the 17th, and it's in the Overberg, which is about 2 hours from Cape Town. It's very, very beautiful. Both retreats are the same venue. The November retreat is the 3rd to the 28th, and we call it our deep cleansing juice detox retreat. It's our signature retreat. And if you are interested in joining, bookings happen very quickly at this time of the year. So I would book very quickly to get a spot. And we're very excited about that.
Yeah, great. We will put a link underneath the recording so that people can find the offering right away. Yeah, is there anything else, Annie, that you feel you want to share with the audience in regards to what we speak about?
The topic that I'm going to be giving is fasting, the ancient practice for the new human journey. And I think that says a lot about what we're talking about here.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. And thank you for holding space for so many people in this beautiful transitioning time. And I can't wait to co-create more with you guys. in the future. So let's see what comes out of here. Yeah. So everyone who's interested to receive the beautiful gifts of this 3 days detox juicy fasting program, please sign up and also sign up to receive the beautiful transmission. So people will speak, but I feel that really through also the words and the speaking, there's a lot of other transmissions going to come in the collective field that you're going to sit in with all of these speakers, where really you will feel it and you will be touched by how you will receive the energy in the space. So make sure that you sign up and join us live. And I'm looking forward to see you again then on September 20th to open the Global Summit with me. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, Danny. Thank you so much. It's been an honor to be here, and I'm looking forward to the summit, and I'm looking forward to the other topics as well.
Yes.
It's going to be really interesting.
Yes, it's going to be. Thank you
Thank
so much,
you.
Annie. Have a great day.